banish thee from Salem forever.
They were right to fear thee. Magic has a way of uniting. Happy 16th birthday, child.
I have a gift for my favorite customers. Legend has it, it's on the 16th birthday that a witch gets her powers.
Lock up your children! Yes, Salem, we're back!
Gilbert, where did you get that candle? We have to get out of here. The witches will be here any second. Ah! The book is alive.
He woke up?
If we intend to live past sunrise, we have to steal their souls.
Whoa, wait, can we talk about this?
No. We must fly! We run amok!
Not to freak out. The vengeful maniac obsessed with getting revenge on Salem sounds very bad for Salem.
We should get some salt. Why? So we taste better when they eat us? Spread out. Sister!
That's not 6 feet under.
Stop! I am a good zombie!
Hello and welcome to all good zombies, bad zombies, happy wicked witches of the west, east, north, and south, and everyone in between, and especially all of those executives at Disney going,
Give us your spooky money.
yes, spook, it's time for Spook Month. Happy October. Welcome to the
Any
periodic
questions?
table of awards. That's my line. Welcome to the periodic table of awards. My name is Dion.
I'm Quinny.
You're Quinny.
And I'm Jill.
I think you're more of a
Jesus.
Jewel. What's Goal? What's Ghoul? What's Jill Ghoul? Ghoul Jill. Jewel.
Ghoulian.
Julian. Ghoulian. It's pronounced Ghoulian.
You make amazing chocolate.
Oh, yeah. Look, the amount of times people ask if Jillian is spelt with a G that I want to punch in the face, I'll just call myself Ghoulian from now on.
Yeah, but okay,
I love it.
fine.
Let's do it.
Fine. Let's do it. Hello, and hello to everyone in the chat. Oh my God. you
Hi,
guys
chat.
are
How
there.
y'all
Hello.
Yeah,
doing?
hi, chat.
Hello, chat.
Oh.
Oh, come on. Well, okay, we're getting to the salty one, but all I've got to say, Ghoulian, is just be thankful that we didn't watch The Munsters.
Yeah.
Oh, Rob Zombie's
Yeah.
one?
Yes. I have watched precisely 5 minutes of that film and couldn't watch anymore.
Oh, no.
It's
dear.
fucking terrible.
Oh, no.
You know how shit that fucking trailer was? Yeah. Turn that up to 11.
Question
Oh,
from the chat there straight away is, how are you feeling, Jill and Quinny? But it's okay. I can be left out. That's fine.
No, we were both sick. I think
That's probably it. Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Casper is just checking in on our well-being and our health.
I'm fine.
Yeah. I'm trying to get better ahead of this weekend in PAX. I am doing my level-headed best to rest and recuperate and not fucking cough my lungs up into a microphone for the next how many days.
And my nasal taps are finally starting to dry out today.
Oh my God. TMI.
Oh, look, I could have said the snot stopped, but I didn't.
The nasal taps is such a nice way of putting it.
That's a
Yeah,
terrible
I'll
sequel
say.
to Spinal Tap.
Nasal tap.
Jeez, ew. I don't want to watch that
I
one.
like it.
It's like an asylum
Jill,
remake. Ugh.
I think when we came in, I noticed a distinct attitude. So Jill, give us just the briefest rundown so that you all know exactly. Everybody knows where's your emotional state at this fine evening,
I have had the day from hell,
which is appropriate, giving it Spooktober.
yes.
Jeez, Spooktober.
But not in a fun way.
Oh.
I had a really rough day, and to back it all up, I had to watch 2 of these movies.
Well, not today. You had to watch.
And there you go.
Because I never
Jill's-
watched the original. So I had to do 2 times homework.
Oh.
As did I.
Thanks for the
my-
reminder.
my-
I'll just
my,
turn the
uh,
spoiler thing off for a quick second. Sorry. Spoilers. Jill had a bad day.
No spoilers.
No spoilers, no yet. But yeah, I too had to spend my long weekend Monday sitting there watching because I started watching Hocus Pocus on the Sunday night, couldn't do it, so came back on the Monday, and then Monday watched Hocus Pocus too. So I
did a Sunday Monday thing too.
Hey, high five, pachow.
Great for an audio format.
Yeah.
That's why he did the sound effect.
Sure.
I said pachow.
I find it terrible that none of you had seen the original Hocus Pocus, and you had to go back.
So
But
you're
it's
trying to
good.
indicate that you have? Dion?
Yes.
Is this a favourite of yours? Is this something you wheel out at every
I
Halloween?
stand Bette Midler. Yeah, okay, fine. Just deathly silence. No reaction to that one. Like, I'm
No,
like,
it was just an intake of breath from both Jill and I
Yeah.
going.
Look, I'm queer, but I ain't that queer. I'm not a Midler stan.
I mean, I absolutely loved I can't say absolutely loved. I quite enjoyed the original Hocus Pocus back when it came out. Goodness knows when, 37 years ago.
1993.
37 years ago. 412
No.
years ago.
300 years ago,
yeah.
surely.
Back when I was celebrating my 32nd birthday in 1993, because I did do a deal with the witches to retain my
Oh, good,
youthful
right,
visage,
okay.
you see. It was quite a fun movie. Like, it was a fun little thing. And this one was just, I'll get to that.
Right.
I'm sure if I watched the original one in 1993, I would have thought it was fun too.
Sure.
This is kind of where I'm at too, because I'll be completely honest with you. I watched, and I'm looking at the chat, and a lot of people going, "Oh, is let's talk about the original, and how does it play, and does it deserve its cult status?" And I think, like so many things that have received cult status,
Yeah.
they are not cult because they're good. They're cult because they're a special magical kind of shit.
Okay. So you have to understand that, like, a lot of things that are cult are just because they're repeated and they just get ingrained. They just get literally kind of osmosis into the natural idea of, like, what do you do at Christmas? Well, I watched that weird Christmas movie with the stop motion animation, and then I learned how Rudolph gets his nose and like those kinds.
And somewhere near Halloween, you watch the Halloween episode of Snoopy and Peanuts, where they go and find the Great Halloween.
The Great Pumpkin. Every Christmas, you sit down and watch Die Hard. It's not Christmas.
Yes.
It's not Christmas until Hans Gruber falls off Nakatomi Plaza.
Every Christmas, I will watch the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Because that is an absolute essential. So,
And I feel like this one has become a cult classic because people want to watch Halloween movies, but they've also got that balance that they want to do. Is like, do I want a terrifying bloodfest, or do I just want Halloweeny things? I feel like it's the Instagrammers version of Halloween.
This is absolutely the peak Disney Halloween.
But you see, you get this or you get practical magic, and there's two very distinct camps. And I've got to say, if you've got kids, go Hocus Pocus. Don't go practical magic.
I see. I think of
I'd
this in
even
the
put
same
an
breath as
age
Death
limit.
Becomes Her.
I'd put an age limit on these movies too. I don't think I could show my 7-year-old niece Hocus Pocus. She'd freak out.
Yeah, that's the point. You got to
'Cause,
scare
like,
them.
as-
You gotta
as,
terrify
like,
them.
Cute as the Sanderson sisters are, for a 7-year-old, they'd still be fucking terrifying because they're kind of creepy, evil witches.
Yeah, but
and they
that's
want
the
to eat children.
Yeah, like
and-
that is their point. Like they're not fun witches.
But they are kind of fun witches, aren't they? Because they're that level of scary where it's like you could run away from them and they wouldn't catch you until, but they're never going to actually hurt you. Like they're that safe.
They were
kind
eating
of,
children, Quinny.
I know they were, but I'm trying to think of like the child psychology of this, which is it's fun scary. it's
No, you know what is fun, scary? Like Adam's Family.
well, I think of this as similar to that,
Okay.
where it's kind of like we've got the trappings of horror, you know, but it's dime store takeaway horror. You
Mhm.
know, it's the
It's-
plastic.
It's not dime store
candy
takeaway.
top.
I keep trying to like get into this sort of thing. It's not dime store takeaway. It's quite literally the thing that is supposed to do. You know what I like about Hocus Pocus? There is no moral complexity. I'm not worrying about whether or not these witches are good, or maybe they're just good on the inside and we just need to learn how to understand them. And no, they're fucking witches. What you need to do is defeat the witch, because the witch is bad. The witch eats children. Done. And they just have fun with that.
Yeah, I mean the good thing about the movie is that yeah, they're scary witches, but they're charismatic, and so that's what makes it fun to watch.
And
Yeah.
they're fun because they
Yeah.
are goofy and they do silly things and they, you know, have a dance number and they, you know, bewitch people into dancing themselves till 5 o'clock in the morning, but not actually dying. You know, at no
Yeah.
point in time is the peril ever at the point where you think, oh, maybe some people might die here.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of back to the old, like, well, not back to the old, I can't say. I feel like something like Stardust has more in common with Hocus Pocus than it does with Maleficent. Because it's
Say it 3 more times, she'll appear.
God, I hope not. I don't think I could handle having Angelina Jolie show up in my house right now. Be like, oh, sorry, everything's dirty. Oh, your assistant looks like confused. Why are you doing here? You've teleported from LA. No wonder you're screaming. Stop screaming. To be honest,
Didn't
it
like
was
you in Eternals, I'm sorry.
no one liked it.
You were underutilized.
You're underutilized, but still there was some cultural appropriation of Australian Aboriginal things there.
Hey, sorry.
But we've got something to say, don't we?
Anyway.
Right.
So I'm actually really impressed that, like, even though, because we put it in the Periodic Table of Awesome nerd thread for everything else. If you're not part of that, join that Facebook group or ask to go in there, because we're putting polls up to see what you want to do, so you can actually add stuff to it. And this was one that came up on the polls. It's like, hey, yeah, we're going to do Hocus Pocus too. And I just love that you guys went out and watched Hocus Pocus to get the backstory.
I needed context.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
And I think it's really important that you have the context, because Hocus Pocus 2 would mean absolutely nothing without the first film.
But you know what? It's watchable without having seen the first film.
Oh, is it?
I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, you only really need they came back like 30 years ago, and then it's like, okay.
I think I would be just completely befuddled by Hocus Pocus 2 if I hadn't seen the first one.
I don't know. Because you kind of got a little backstory with like the children at the beginning, and then it's like now you're in the future and you hear about like this folk tale from Salem, and then they're like, oh yeah, did you hear that there's a rumor that 30 years ago they came back? And it's like, oh, okay, well, that was the first one that I have heard about but have not watched. And now I'm watching this one. And you know what? All of the jokes that they repeated would not be worn out on you.
Oh, good point. Well made. So, should we talk about what Hocus Pocus actually is about? And Dion, do you have anything musically appropriate for this?
Maybe.
Spooky.
So spooky. Hocus Pocus 2 is set in present-day Salem, 29 years after Max inadvertently resurrected the Sanderson Sisters by lighting the black-flamed candle. And now they're out for revenge, for their execution once again, with the witches back threatening to wreak a whole new kind of havoc on the town. High schoolers Becca, Cassie, and Izzy are tasked with putting a stop to the ravenous witches' plans before midnight on Halloween. There you go. That'll do you.
Cool.
It's not Danny Elfman.
No, it's bom 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 bom, but not.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
I kind of I feel like I really want to address some problems that I have with Hocus Pocus 1.
Okay.
Okay, Quinny. Take us back to
Um,
Hocus Pocus 1. It
okay.
was 1993.
Yes.
There was such a thing as the Chicago Bulls. And Michael Jordan had just finished a long career and had decided he was going to play baseball.
Have you just got like a history tab of 1993 bullshit open in front of you?
It's because I know what I was doing in 1993 because I was there, Quinny.
I was there, but I was grade 10, something stupid like that.
Oh, so you had a Chicago Hornets jacket and, all that kind of stuff.
No, I was playing fucking Sonic the
Charlotte
Hedgehog
Hornets,
and trying to
sorry.
work out where my next game was going to be paid. So this one, the first film, I think, could only have become a cult film through the period of time because I think it's a fucking mess. I'm sorry, Missy, and I'm so sorry, Tari, and everybody who loves that first film. But all of the things that I got angry about with Iron Man 2, in terms of, weird fucking side swipe, I know. But in Iron Man 2, where they're all just having a lovely time, ad-libbing their way through scenes, just making shit up as they go. Characters are throwing in little jokes and stuff all the way through because they think it's going to be funny. To me, that's what that first film felt like. A whole bunch of weird noises and a bunch of ad-libbing and a bunch of people having a great time in a very friendly Disney kind of way. Like, I was trying to work out what the fuck Sarah Jessica Parker was doing in that first film. And I was like, what are you... okay.
She was playing the ditzy one.
Yeah, I don't have those same issues, Quinny. Like, it's
Okay.
quite clear, like, the personalities of the sister witches, and to me it was like, oh, annoying kids in their first straight to video feature that can't act.
I did have a brief moment where I'm like, was this on Disney Channel?
I don't think Disney Channel existed in '93.
Oh, God.
But
They also didn't
I'm
have
like,
streaming services.
here's a girl who is definitely a woman and not 14 years old,
Mm.
next to a boy who's very definitely 14 years old.
Yeah, though he's going to go on to star in NCIS or something like that. Or Law and Order, one of those anyway.
Yeah.
Mm. And
But it just felt like straight to video classic Disney movie to me. I didn't really have a problem with it.
I just found it really hard to kind of work out what they were trying to do. It like tonally, it felt fucking weird to me. I didn't know. Like, I got that it was comedy. I got that it was fun. There's a musical number and stuff like that. But yeah, like I found a lot of it to be really kind of
This
annoying.
Hocus Pocus 2 was actually fell into a really sweet spot with all of the audiences in there because this was the year of not particularly good kids movies. Like, you've got things like Falling Down, Super Mario Brothers, terrible movie.
Jesus.
Son-in-law, Pauly Shore was big at the time, so Son-in-Law had come out. It was Indecent Proposal, Mrs. Doubtfire, Robin Hood Men in Tights. There's not a lot of kids films in this. And also the biggest tank of 1993, which is The Last Action Hero, which is highbrow great, by the way. Like, I mean,
It is, yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
But there wasn't any kid stuff that was in there. There was a lot of action that year. Jurassic Park came
Mask
out,
of the
all that kind
Phantasm
stuff.
came out that year.
Yep, I mean, that's not a kid's film. That's a
No,
It's a
you're
big
right,
kids,
actually.
big kids movie.
that's very definitely an adult film dressed up as a cartoon. That was when
And
we all
also
watched
RoboCop 3. What are you talking about?
Yes, I mean there was A Nightmare Before Christmas, but again that was even sort of scarier.
And Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
But anyway, you make your point. Look,
Yeah.
all I'm saying is I didn't particularly enjoy that first film. I found it messy and all over the place. So,
I thought it did its job.
right.
I thought this is a paint by numbers kids movie, and it worked.
And I definitely thought it was a kids movie aimed at kids, and I can see why kids would probably dig it in 1993.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, you got to look at it too. It's kind of, at the time, it had some big names. Bette Midler was the biggest name, but Sarah Jessica Parker was also quite, popular.
Yes.
Sex and the City was out, I think, then, because it started in 1992, didn't it? I think so. Um, and Kathleen Najimy was in there because she'd just done Sister Act and stuff. But I mean, it was great because it was like it's just caricatures, and that's
Sex
what
and
we
the City
wanted.
started in 1998.
1998. Okay, well, she's still around before then. Mars Attacks was around that time, and I loved watching her head get cut off and put on a chihuahua. Not that I'm not a Jeffrey Dahmer, not not trying to go that way. But yeah, like I mean, it was a fun film. It did what it said on the box. It was a hocus pocusy film. It's definitely for the tween age audience.
Mhm.
You know, just before 10 to just before teenagehood. You know,
I think if
A
I'd watched
sleepover
it,
movie.
sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's a
Yeah, well,
sleepover movie,
absolutely.
a parental approved sleepover movie,
Yep.
or the
Yeah.
one that you say that you're going to get, and you get another one and try and slide
And you
like,
actually get Silence of the
Halloween
Lambs.
Oh.
behind it, and just be
Yeah.
like, oh, it's the same movie.
Yeah.
Halloween's the same cast.
Yeah. No, it's a scary movie.
Sure.
It's such a fun, scary film. Oh, good. Tari's going to go and watch the original one again, just to reconfirm.
I
think
love that there are people that love the movie. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah, it's
absolutely,
good.
absolutely. And that then brings. So, Dion, did you watch it in '93?
No, I probably didn't watch it in 1993, but I watched it around that time. Like, I remember seeing it in the mid 90s somewhere.
Okay.
Like,
right.
I saw Hocus Pocus and I was kind of like, it's fine. It's a
Yeah.
film.
Yeah.
It really wasn't for me too much. It's one of those ones I didn't have to think about too much. So when they announced that they were going to make a Hocus Pocus 2, I was like, oh, okay. Sure, I guess you did a film 30 years ago and now you're going to do another film 30 years later, and that could be fun because those witches were fun in the sense that stereotype evil witches and they come back again. I was like, cool, all right, let's see
And
how
like
that's going
those
to
are
go.
the characters that people enjoy from the movie, not
Sure.
the other characters. They like the witches.
Yeah,
Nobody really cared about the kids, that's for sure.
and let's be
They-
honest,
they
no one
were-
gave a shit about the supporting characters in this one either. This was not a vehicle for anyone else to do. It was literally a thing of like, well, you guys haven't seen each other for 30 years. Want to come back and sort of do the same stuff again? And not like, there's no reason to do like even some decent joke. I mean, there was one good scene. Like there was one scene that I actually went, that was funny. And then
Okay.
the rest of it, I was like, oh, this is terrible.
Well, that then brings us to Hocus Pocus 2.
Yeah. That I was
Your
discussing Hocus
feelings on
Pocus
it,
2.
D? Not loving it?
Nostalgia is a hell of a drug. But I think that this one was marketed as nostalgia, and it very much wasn't nostalgia because I didn't give a shit. And all of the jokes were just kind of like, this is the thing. It has 3 witches in it that are from an established previous movie. And when they come back, they didn't do anything to say that they've been around for 30 years, after. They just didn't do anything. It just pulled it back out again. It's like, hey, look, remember this thing? And we're like, yep. What do they do? They're gonna do anything? And like, no, we're just showing it to you. Money, please. Like,
I never got around to watching it, but is it Coming to America? There was that Coming to America, the sequel.
yes,
I feel
I
like-
watched that.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
My God. I feel like we are definitely at a point in our filmmaking oeuvre where we are all about, let's see what we can dig up out of the nostalgia mines. Let's see what rusting, dusty corpse we can inject some Doug Jones into and reanimate.
There's just you know what it is? It feels like the filmmaking industry at the moment is really dominated by risk-averse behavior, which feels more of an economic driving force rather than a creative driving force. And that's kind of sad.
Yeah, it's weird that this was not a cinematic release because it had all the trappings of being a Halloween cinematic thing. Like in cinemas spectacular. Like it almost threw me when the witches first appeared and they were singing. And I'm like, wait, is this a musical? Because the first one wasn't a musical.
Yeah,
But it did have a musical number.
And it
Yes.
had a few musical numbers.
Hmm.
And it ended with a musical number.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm like, this is very cinema. But
Did it
I'm
did it not
watching
feel a
on
little bit
TV
like
at home.
the Ghostbusters one where there was a musical number in it,
Oh
and
my
you're like,
God.
why?
The
I
2016
was
one.
watching it and I'm like, this
Why?
has female Ghostbusters energy, but I actually liked that movie and I don't like this one.
I love when the witches came back. Like when they first came back, and I sort of forgave it because I was like, okay. And then they had what I consider the greatest scene in the film, which is when they went to the Walmart or the supermarket or whatever,
Walgreens.
Walgreens. And that was the funniest thing. And I went, that's actually very smart, very funny. I liked all of this. I watched them trying on all the makeup and stuff, and how many children are in
baby's
these?
face.
Yes, he's like, ah.
What does it taste
You
like?
know,
Raspberries.
Yeah.
That stuff was funny, but then also at the same time, it's like you have been in the future 30 years ago. Stuff has not changed that much.
Hmm.
And you're acting like you've never seen a lot of this stuff before.
Yeah.
So that bothered me.
They were
Yeah.
playing up on the fish out of water thing, and they seemed less out of water in the 90s than they were in.
Yeah. And I didn't mind the
Yeah.
mop, also the steam cleaner
Okay.
thing.
The-
And I
I
didn't
didn't
mind.
like the
vacuum
Roombas. I
Sweeping gag again, like the broom gag again. I'm like,
yeah.
Um,
Yes, vacuum sweeping gag dumb. Kind of like the flying Roombas though.
Yeah.
Can't lie.
I'm
Found
okay
them
with it.
amusing.
I just feel like that they could have been used as actual comedy things. Like bewitched Roombas is a fun thing. Like,
Yeah.
there was an entire meme of putting knives on Roombas and watching them fight. That's already written as a joke. Just strap a knife to the Roomba, for fuck's sake. I would have been down for it.
You know who I feel actually probably feel the worst for out of pretty much everybody, and I've already mentioned him, Doug Jones.
yeah, Doug Jones back again playing Billy Butcherson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel bad. I feel bad for him in the sense that he wasn't in any of the scenes with the witches.
Nope. No, well, his
Yeah.
head was kind of on a plinth while they were doing stuff.
I
But
know, but it felt very soundstagey, as in, okay, so this is where Bet and Sarah and Kathy are going to be, and their stand-ins are there, and go. You're like, cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I did see an interview with him that he was like, yeah, it was fun going back and doing that, but I'd forgotten how much hard work it was, and I was exhausted by the end of it. And I was like, oh, buddy.
All right.
Um,
That's just kind of the way it is.
yeah.
Ably supported by 3 young starlets who no one has remembered,
Ah,
which is sad because it was
They
just
were
like,
fine.
oh,
It was like they're doing a that stupid movie, The Coven.
the
What's funny thing?
craft.
The Craft. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I'm not into 90s witch movies, guys. Like, it's just not my thing. I was never that girl.
You
But-
weren't a witchy
you're
woman.
more in the Freddy Krueger stabby side.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they were doing their 2020s craft thing, I guess. So
Hmm.
2020's craft.
Yeah.
it
But I
was
mean-
nice to see a diverse young cast
Yeah.
for the children characters. Like, if
Hmm.
you can put some other people in there that need a bit of representation, then it's always nice to do it when you can.
Yeah, and I think that was something that the film desperately needed, because while you've got your original
Yes.
cast and everything, they're very white, so it's really important to then fill out the rest of the world and kind of go, oh no, this is a movie from 2020. This is a film that
Mm.
has characters that also have agency and are different, because like, even though they don't necessarily have much to do, and a lot of the film is still set aside for witches doing dance numbers and stuff. Look at me dismiss that whole fucking film. They, at the very least, are still bringing in modern mores with them.
Mm.
And there were a few moments that I actually kind of enjoyed, like the jock boyfriend who has the moment of realization that it's like, hang on, so what? Telling people that they're weird and making fun of their things is bad.
I hate how they had to spell that out.
It, well, see, I
Like,
thought,
it was blazing letters in the sky, like, don't tease people, it's not cool.
I agree, though. I thought that was done in a way that I quite liked because I thought it was funny. I like the idea that a person just doesn't understand that being a cunt is actually a shit thing to be.
It's the most
It's like-
Australian. It's the most Australian thing you've ever said, Quinny.
Yeah, like I
Yeah,
was
eventually your
amused
kids
by
have got to
that.
grow up and realize stop being a cunt.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Like that being, making fun of people and saying that they're different is actually a really unpleasant thing to be. And I was like, oh, okay. That
Yeah,
amused
I
me.
know. Yeah, that lesson could be in there, but did they have to dress it up with this guy is literally so fucking dumb that we have to tell him this in the very plainest of languages? I'm like, you
Yeah.
are talking to your audience as if they are dumb as well.
come on, it's just mean Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah. Yes. So other characters that I think we can all agree got horrifically underserved. Hannah Waddingham.
Oh, when I saw her
Yeah,
in the beginning,
I was like,
yes, I
"Ooh,
fucking love you, Hannah. You're in this movie. And
she's
she
gonna
was
be
in it
ace."
for probably less than 5 minutes.
And it's
She did her day on set.
yeah, and I mean, I was so sad that wasn't even a callback or something didn't even come like it came back in some way. I was just like, oh, so you had Hannah Waddingham, and then that's it. You just
Yep.
fucking left.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
And yeah, like if you wanted to set her up, I kind of thought maybe at the start they were going to set her up as being the antagonist, and do that thing where it's like, okay, well, the bad guys from the first film are actually just misunderstood, and they've got to come together to fight a bigger bad guy who's worse than them,
That
And if
would have
that-
been fun
and
instead
that,
of just completely rehashing the original movie.
yeah, let's just do the same thing again.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's where it lost points. Like as I kind of go in my review of this, it lost points. Yeah, criminal underuse of Hannah Waddingham, but also gained points for throwing in a few of the RuPaul drag queens in there. Yes, it also had Ginger
My
Minge.
girls, Ginger Minge, Cornbread, and Kamala Hall.
I was just kind of like, hang on a second. They're way better than anyone else. What's going on here? Oh, right, they were actually.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are the parts that are fun. But it seemed that the rest of it was actually dull and boring. And
The same.
yeah, and the same. And I
Hmm.
mean, look, I usually like Sam Richardson and I usually like Tony Hale, in what they've done before. But
Yeah.
in this one, I was just kind of like, oh, you're just trying to be the lynch between the old and the
It's
new
like,
here.
here's the box, just don't go outside of this.
Yeah, I
Mm.
just really got.
Play within this box.
I really got the feeling that the three witches were just kind of like there because they were told that it's you three. The film's all about you three, and you don't have to worry about what's going on. Just do whatever you want. And they were kind of like, well, why are we here? Like, oh, just do what you did last time. It's like, great, I'll just do whatever. And then the film
Yeah.
happened, and then you finished.
And you
you
can
know.
do it this time without old people makeup on.
Oh. Although, okay, one of the things I can highly say that was good about Hocus Pocus 2 was their physicality still really worked. Like their ability to inhabit those characters in their physical movements, as like because their dialogue was piss, but the way they moved. And stalked and hunted and moved around the set. I was kind of like, oh, you guys haven't like you've nailed it from when you used to do it. Like 30 years later, it's
Yeah.
hard enough to just walk onto a set, but like you're still doing all of the weird movements that
Although-
made you.
My one complaint, and this is very nitpicky.
One.
This is very nitpicky, is that Kathy Najimy's mouth used to go
I
to
know.
one side and now goes to the
I know.
other side.
It
And
annoyed
I'm
the
like,
shit out of me.
Bitch, were you looking at yourself in a mirror when you were like trying to do this again?
And occasionally it shifted and changed, and I was like, "What?"
Just concentrate on the Roombas.
Yeah. Which I love that Jill and I are both like, no.
Oh dear. So should we
See, one thing I did find interesting, you said that the dialogue was piss. I thought the dialogue in the sequel was significantly better than the first. Like, I felt like somebody actually had a go at writing their dialogue.
True. I
In
mean,
the
I felt
first
like
one, I
yeah.
really felt like they were just having fun and doing
Yeah.
funny little things and making, oh, let's make a joke to make ourselves laugh. And this one,
Why
at least,
not?
I felt like somebody actually had a go at writing dialogue for them that they then learned.
Well, maybe that was the problem. They didn't get that little bit of magic of just letting people go a bit bonkers on set.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe. Okay.
I'll be completely honest with you, dude. I enjoyed the second one significantly more than the first.
Okay, fine. But you're also 30 years older. Tell me something that you enjoyed, better when you were 30 years younger than you do now.
Well, the thing is, I have no experience of the one from 30 years ago. So for me, I'm just comparing literal apples with apples. I'm watching two films, right next to each other, that I have no emotional investment in whatsoever. So, I'm kind of looking at them as the film that they stand in front of me. So yeah, 30 years ago, me has no fucking dog in this race.
Yes, I feel kind of weird having to review it tonight because to me, I watched two movies that were exactly the same and were mediocre.
Mediocre.
And I'm so sorry, Chad. I am so
Immortan
sorry.
Jill has spoken. Mediocre.
Mediocre.
I didn't hate them, if that makes you feel better. They were just fine.
Derivative and dull.
Yes.
Right.
Dear.
Okay. Yeah. Get into
Yes.
it. Get into the review then. All right. I mean, not the review. The rating.
The rating.
And then we'll go to a clip, and then we'll come
and-
back and we'll talk about the spoilery bits. Not that it really needs to
Sure.
be spoiled, but we've got to fill time in somehow.
Yeah. As always, chat, smash into those 100% thingies. Give us a rating. Sorry, I'll just cough at you. I don't know, Dion. Do you want to go first?
Sure, why not? I'm just going to deduct points for things I didn't like, and eventually I got down to about 55. I enjoyed the Hocus Pocus idea, but I know specifically it's like a gateway drug into better, darker, scarier, witchy films or horror-y things. Like this is above Peanuts, but before The Craft. There's your transitional gateway stuff there. So I'm kind of like, this is not beginner, but it's like intermediate spook. So I can't really be too bad, but they did criminally underuse something, and I felt that the magic of it didn't quite gel, and that's a bit of a problem. It relied too heavily on the fact that we have three very distinct caricatures of witches that were popular back in one day, and now we've just brought them back just because it's popular and we need content, which felt kind of a bit like, oh, this hasn't recaptured it didn't recapture my old opinion of it and didn't start a new opinion of it. So in the end, I think it was just present.
And was there a numerical value attached to your present?
Yes, I said 2 5s.
Oh, 55. Sorry.
Yeah.
55.
Okay. 55. Present.
That's funny because I'm also going to go with 55 because it wasn't terrible, but it was just okay. My thing is, though, I can see from the perspective, as someone that enjoys children's movies, I can see how this would be enjoyable for children. My problem with Hocus Pocus 2 is that it relies so heavily on the first one that they've basically lifted the entire script and redone it. When the 1993 movie would have benefited from having a little bit more content in terms of plot with actual stakes, probably more action, that if they were going to completely rip it off again, they could have done so much more and gone so bigger and better with a 2022 budget. But they didn't. And so that pisses me off. Is that this could have been an entirely different movie, even a reboot, that would have done it so much better if they hadn't just copied it.
Sure.
So
I wouldn't have minded if they...
I'm 55.
55 as well.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It could have been so much better. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. 50.
Oh,
No, they
oh,
didn't try. I'm sorry. They just didn't try.
interesting.
Mm.
Interesting. I really wasn't expecting to be the one to come in here and like this the most.
You never know what you're gonna get.
I know. I was like, because I thought the 90s one annoyed the shit out of me, like because I thought it was messy and unfocused and like had some fun ideas and stuff like that. But yeah, there was some really really shit storytelling of hey, the kid introduces himself to a girl and then by the end of the day he's on a date with her and they fall asleep with each, and it's just like,
Yeah.
ugh, ick, ew.
Yeah.
And yeah, the whole kind of thing felt, just messy, but and it was a cult film. Like that's the thing. Like,
Mm.
you look at Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's not a good film. It's a cult film.
Mm.
And this felt very much like that. Whereas the sequel I thought was a far better constructed film. It's the same film, but it's constructed better. Like the musical numbers come at points that kind of make a little bit more sense. Like it's still messy, but the problem is it's messy for the characters like the Becca and the three girls. They get forgotten about for large chunks of the film.
Yeah.
So yeah, like for me, it's a 65. I had
Oh,
more
Jesus.
fun.
That's fucking generous.
Yeah, I had more fun with it, and I laughed
Okay.
quite a few times.
Mm.
And I don't know whether it was just better by comparison, but also with no nostalgia hanging on the old one, I'm kind of
Mm.
like, that's a more watchable film. So
Fair enough. Fair enough.
yeah.
No.
Fair enough.
Okay, well, we'll go to.
Oh, and I'm sorry, Rocky Predicanga, but I love Rocky Horror Show. I love the Rocky Horror Picture Show, but it's not a good film.
Dr. Scott.
Brad.
Janet.
Rocky.
Dr. Scott.
Exactly.
Come on. All right,
Yes.
we'll go through the clip. We'll come back. We'll do the thing.
Winnie, we already drank the life potion. Simpleton! Those were a hoax! We're wasting time. We must fly. Fly? On what? Just like my old one.
Oh, well, what about us? There's only one.
Bats and beetles, find something, anything. We must fly!
Anything. My groupies are misbehaving. Uh-oh. Winnie, I'm surfing, Cowabunga. Winnie!
What unholy dance art thou doing?
They were the only groupies left. The man said, be careful, they have a mind of their own. He's right.
Stop it. Sit. Sisters, focus. We must fly to our ancestral cottage, get book, and brew our potion.
Then what, Winnie? Then what?
Then we run amok in Salem. Ah, mucka, 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 mucka. Stop it! Don't make me come over there with this broom.
Oh, there you go.
Sorry,
Perfect.
I wish you could see the amount of salt dripping off Jill while we're watching that.
The fucking dialogue is exactly the same as the last movie. Shit.
A mucka, 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 mucka.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I get it. They're caricatures.
And the thing that I find bizarre about it is that this is playing on very, very old archetypal ideas. This is the three fates. This is the grand, was it the hag,
The crone, the
the
mother,
mother,
and the
and the-
maiden.
yeah. And you see that motif played out so many other times, like especially in Terry Pratchett's witches books and everything, and done so much better.
Yeah, I mean, look, okay, we're into the spoiler section now. Not that there's much spoilering going on. They die. Fine. I'm happy with that because it at least allows them to rest and no one can make a Hocus Pocus 3 because they've eternally passed the torch.
Did you see the end trailer? The end credits stinger?
I did.
Did I? What was? No, I don't think. I think I
spoil
couldn't
away,
be
Jill.
bothered.
Oh, Oh, a box titled Black Wick Candle number 2. So the guy made 2 candles, 2 new
And
candles.
yes, and
Black
the fact,
flame candles or whatever.
yes, and the fact that it
I
had.
like the idea that they were black light candles, so you light them and you can just see where
you don't
everybody's
want,
been
oh,
doing
you
stuff.
don't want to see that.
No, yeah, Salem, that house, Salem, the town of Puritans and witches, suddenly gets a black light across it is not a good thing. It's just not a good thing.
Suddenly go to a whole bunch of different clubs and go, oh no.
Oh no! Or just walking down the street, going, "Oh no! Oh no! Salem."
Okay,
this is
well,
why.
so that was like right at the end of the credits.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
very end.
Right.
And but I
just
mean,
let
did
it
you also
play
get
out 'cause I was doing other stuff.
the flying Hannah Waddingham character, Mother Witch, whatever it was, over the 3 girls at the end there after they'd got Book?
Oh, she was the one, the bird. with the
Yeah,
red
she turned into the
Yeah.
bird and then she flies, kind of like she's just watching everyone again. I was like, oh, again, criminally underutilized. But you know,
I wanted them to like explore some of the ideas that they had in the first one about the fact that they've done a deal with the devil, like and they're quite comfortable with Satan and the idea of that. I wanted to see at what point in time they actually did their deal with Satan.
sure.
But we get Queen Witch, and
Because
she's
that's
gone again.
not how Marvel's going to introduce Mephisto into the
Oh, for
universe.
God damn it.
Although it could have been amazing if that's how they did it. Yeah, Marvel's just
It
sitting back
turns
going,
out-
well, you all missed Mephisto in Hocus Pocus 2, so what are we supposed to do?
Yeah, and it turns out that the person who was sending the black light candles, it was Agatha all along.
Oh no.
Uh-huh. Oh God, if it had been the Tim Curry version of Satan, that would have made this amazing.
From Legend.
Mm.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
nice.
cool, because we can't actually have one unified, we can't have different things exist once it's all been gobbled up by the one entity.
No, it's all Disney now.
Yeah, when Disney eats everything, you have to connect all universes together, and then it's kind of like the Dark Tower. Oh my God.
No.
Stephen King was writing about the same thing. Disney's the evil entity.
Yeah.
Disney's the Dark Tower. No.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
In terms of actual spoilery stuff, I was saying to these guys during the clip, you can tell that Sarah Jessica Parker has become a far bigger star over the intervening 30 years because her character actually got some shit to do this time. And at one point even gets a bit of self-determination and says, no, Winnie, I want to do what I want to do. And has some dialogue and stuff, and then they completely undermine it, but whatever. Yeah.
Sounds just like women. That's a joke. That's a joke. Not a real thing. Please don't kill me, Jill. I didn't understand the the fun zombie shopkeeper side quest.
Mhm.
Oh,
Seemed
yeah.
very strange, because did I miss something there? Was there a reason why they were being kept separate and they weren't together? Like,
They needed something for Gilbert to do to keep him in the film.
yeah, that was where I kind of got to think, going, okay, so you're having 2 separate stories here. You're having the 3 witches, and then you're having the zombie and the shopkeeper, but they're all technically, well, I mean, the shopkeeper's
Yeah,
on the
they
same side.
were getting Gilbert to
Ingredients.
collect the ingredients for them
Yeah, but then had a
while they
sidetrack in a
just went
carnival.
to have fun.
Hmm.
Yeah, but they got sidetracked in a carnival for half the movie,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that was the one where I was like, oh, that's bad.
Like the fact that one of the characters' main motivation through most of the film was to get a candied apple. You're like, huh.
Mm.
I
Yeah,
mean,
really.
I've had caramel apples, caramel apples,
Caramel.
caramel
Caramel.
apples.
Mm.
They are
They're
just
fucking good.
yeah, they're good, but they're also like, do you not feel the sugar eating through the enamel on your teeth as you eat them?
Yes.
I've had like
Get it.
toffee apples, but I take it these are different from caramel
Oh,
apples.
apples covered in actual caramel is the bomb.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I
not
always
a
just
candy
assumed
apple.
that they were candy, like they were toffee apples.
No,
Because those
not
things I
toffee
lost
apples.
teeth to.
No, this is like actual caramel. And it's fucking good shit.
Okay, well, maybe I can understand the mayor's reason for being a little more. But I think you're right, Dee. There's that thing of going, obviously the writers have gone, what do we do with Billy Butcherson and Gilbert for the rest of the film? I don't know. Give them a list, make them go shopping. Billy's arc, what's his arc? Comes undead again, undead, and
Undead.
yeah, and then tells people that no, he wasn't actually her boyfriend at all. That's not an arc.
Cool.
It's a straight line. And
Yeah,
it's only quite
And
short.
I'm pretty sure we knew that from like the first movie.
Yeah, I mean, this is I think we've already explained the issues that we have with it. There's enough in there to actually go, yeah, it could have been worthwhile as a sequel. Like it could have been something that would have been very interesting to take a cult film and give it a little bit more meat on the bones, as it were. But in the end, it just turned out to be neither one of two things. It wasn't a handover to a new generation of talented actors who were coming up and had their own unique stories. Because I have to say, apart from whatever that they did, I didn't connect with any of the side characters. It was all about the witches. So if the side characters weren't as good as the witches or even better, then I just didn't care.
So I think an interesting comparison, and just because one that I do have an understanding of the nostalgia aspect of it, is Ghostbusters Afterlife. That, you've got a film in that one that is very, very much digging from the nostalgia mine and is trying to set up new characters. And in that case, it spends most of the film playing with new characters and giving us a whole bunch of stuff to do with them. And then at the end, spoilers, brings in the old. In this case, it's kind of like, we're just going to spend all of our time with the old.
Yeah.
And as such, you get to the end of the film, you don't care about the new characters, and you're kind of glad the old one's dead.
I think they didn't really do this with the intention of, starting a franchise. It was just merely a Halloween's coming up. Let's just rehash an old movie.
We need content, damn it. Get content out there. And we did some with the monsters, and that went real bad. Well, actually, no. It's kind of like what are all the different services that have done it? The Netflix did Monsters, that's tanked. They've also got Wednesday though, so that's coming.
Looks like it could be vaguely entertaining.
Hocus Pocus just seems like something Disney just pushed out, but they're already doing so much other content with Star Wars and Marvel that it was really just a side thing for other people to look at.
I always wonder why they go, okay, this is a direct to Disney Plus thing. And as you say, Jill, not making the push to put it in the cinemas.
Because I feel like there would have been like a lot of adults that were like, oh, I enjoyed this movie when I was younger. Let's go take my kids to see it.
Yeah. And I could imagine it may well have actually done okay for them in that sense. But yeah, I don't know. I guess
especially since it's like school holidays all around the world, essentially, in October.
Yeah, right. Yes. I mean, honestly, Missy's having a great rant in the chat, which is amazing because she's got a lot more invested in it. But she did make a good point. Like, why would Winnie sacrifice her ultimate power in order to rejoin her sisters at the end? Like, what's the point of the redemption arc? Right at the end, for no reason.
Her whole thing is that she loves her sisters, even though she treats them like shit. Her whole thing, even from the first one, was that it's all about the sisters.
Yeah, and especially the setup with the kids. To me. Yeah, that I had no problem with at all. Also, I don't like. I think it's barely a redemption arc because she actually didn't choose to do it. Like, there's a part of me that thinks that if Winnie had been left to her own devices, she would have gone, I'm keeping the power, but I'm now going to be sad. Whereas because the three kids made the decision for her, she gets a Pyrrhic redemption.
Does she?
I don't know.
I'm not even interested in speculating on the movie, to be honest. I'm sorry.
And lo, in this Spooktober, not a single fuck was given by Jill.
No, Jill is mentally at PAX.
Only got one more working day to get to, you guys.
Yeah.
Dear, I feel like that. Yeah, is that something that you want to talk about right now? What are you doing this weekend, you two crazy kids?
I have managed to avoid all responsibilities at PAX.
Responsibility.
Hey, do you want to do some work? Do you want some money? Like, no, fuck off. I'm just going to play games.
I'm doing nothing. Fuck you guys. No. Go away. Yeah. If you see Jill, she'll be the one who just goes, and goes the other direction because she's going to do something else.
If anybody in the chat sees me at PAX, please come up and say hello. I definitely want to say hello and chat with you.
I know that Casper is going to be there, and I'm
Amazing.
pretty sure
He will
Atsuki says
probably
next year.
see you, Jill, and give you a sub.
Oh my god! I was going to say, if Casper just walks up and gives you a footlong, that sounds weird. There you go. Casper will find you a sub. If you put, I believe that the French have got a few going cheap.
Just print out one of the present things on the Twitch chat there and just hand it to Quinny and Jill and be like, "Hey, I got your sub." It's good for 1 month.
Amazing. So you're going to be just enjoying yourself and wandering around and playing the games.
But Beck is hosting the One for All panel on Friday. So if anybody here in the chat is going to be there on Friday, maybe we can all like hang out at her panel.
I would love to do that, but unfortunately, that's the first time I'm working.
All right. Well,
well, what are you?
So I guess I'll go fuck myself.
What a lovely segue, Quinny. What are you doing?
Well, my weekend's rather busy. Initially, I was going to be doing a couple of panels. I was going to be doing a game development as explained by Sock Puppets. However, that has unfortunately been cancelled for this year.
Oh, boom.
Yeah. A couple of the team members had a bereavement in their family. So went, I'm not sure we can do Sock Puppets. And we all went, no, that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So it just means that we're going to be coming back next year, bigger and better than ever. And maybe, who knows, we'll have some pyrotechnics. We don't know. Socks, of course, are quite flammable. So, we'll see how we go with that. So that was going to be on the Friday, but that's not happening. If you are popping by the Lenovo Legion booth at any point in time, I'll be there most of the day. I'll be there from like 10 till 3 or 4, both on all of the days, thereabouts. We are doing stuff for Halo. We've got...
Is that some sort of Swedish game? Hello.
Hello.
We've one of the funniest things that we're doing is a thing for Sea of Thieves. So there's an hour and a half long Sea of Thieves thing, which I got sent a thing that said, "Here is how you are to talk like a pirate," and I went, "Fucking what?"
Okay.
I'm excited for you to try to crush out talking like a pirate for hours at some point.
The funny thing? We're not allowed to talk like pirates. It's like, do not do anything that is typical piratey. And I'm like,
what?
The fuck is the point?
Fuck them up, Quinny. Just talk in Simlish. Join the blue, the blue.
Simlish pirate.
What?
Yeah, why not? So I'm kind of weirded out by that. But Saturday night, 6:30, I believe it is, in the main theatre, is the Great Debate, the Lenovo Legion Great Debate, where we are, funnily enough, talking about what we've been talking about tonight. Reboots and remakes killing new ideas.
Yes.
And who's going to be on the Great Debate? Has it been announced yet? Who's debating? Who's the mass debaters?
I shan't be calling them that.
I shall be. Nah.
Yes. So in one of our teams, we have Stephanie Bendixson, Alex Walker, who is a games journalist, Jordan Raskopoulos, and on the other team, we have Nick Boy Richardson from Back Pocket, Ruby Innes, and Jess McDonald, who are two fantastic writers for Kotaku, and generally funny, very nice people.
Cool.
So,
and you're taking the knives I gave you, right? So eventually at the end, to announce the winner, you're going to have a knife fight. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, like they can argue as much as they want,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
at the end, is going to come down to who can shiv the who.
Yeah.
the
Closing
fastest.
arguments is just stabbing.
Yeah, yeah. Gonna be great.
Just like pirates do.
Yes. But, yeah. And so the thing that I'm looking forward to about that is, as well as that, straight afterwards in that theatre is The Dark Room. So
Yes.
I will get to catch up with an old friend of mine, John
Hello.
Robertson.
J-Ro. Good old
Yes.
John Robertson.
Yes.
Actually, there you go. There's an idea for you to close out the great debate. Just do the thing from The Dark Knight where you say we can only have one winner and then break a pool cue over your knee and go, but there's only one winner. Drop it. Yeah, go for that.
Okay, why not?
Why not? Why not?
Yeah,
J-Ro would
I
love
don't
it.
think that's how debates actually work, but whatever. So the great thing about that is that if you are watching online, it will be streamed on Twitch. So if you go and check out the
I
Pax
shall
Pulse
work
Twitch
out
stream,
how to re-host it from the periodic table one and do it that way.
that sounds like a great
I'll
idea.
try and repost the things that you are on, the people that we know are on.
Cool.
Yes. And
Yeah.
then the rest
Keep-
of the time, I'll be somewhere down near the Lenovo booth or hanging out, being cool, relaxing.
Probably at a
maxing
pub, Quinny. You're quite well
Yes.
known for having a few
Yes.
of the little
One of the
betties.
many pubs around.
Yes, Boat
What's-
Builders is a favorite.
Boat builders.
There are many.
It's the standard.
Yes.
Yes.
So I imagine the Dark Room is being streamed, Missy. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm guessing they stream pretty much everything on the main stage. So
Sure. I mean, you could go to the casino. Oh.
could.
I mean,
Wow.
technically, they still have a license to operate, but still.
Oh, this is the Crown, not the Star.
No, they're both. They both
Oh.
got
Yeah, they're all in.
yeah. Let's just establish a fact here that both the Crown and the Star have been done for the same thing. Like, just in, it's kind of like, oh yeah, no, it's not the one in Melbourne, it's the one in Sydney, or it's not the one it's not the one on the Gold Coast. That's fine. It's the one in Melbourne. It's like, oh no, you're all terrible. Anyway. And well, I mean, I'm excited because next week, while you're away after having gone to PAX and you'll get some well-deserved time off, I get to do a stream with, as I can say now, Emmy award-winning,
Our very own Emmy Award
an
winner.
Emmy award winner
Holy
gets to talk about one of their favorite movies, On Golden Pond, which I have queued up ready to watch on Thursday night this week, just to revisit. And they will
I
have
think
to.
now that Peter has done a Emmy speech, she could definitely intro the show next
I
week.
might make her do that. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Considering, like, out of all of us, you've given an Emmy speech.
yeah.
Yeah. The microphone didn't even get lowered on her or anything.
I love it.
Didn't get played off.
Didn't
None
get
of
played out. Nah.
Yes.
Oh
Definitely.
yeah, and yes, you're right. We do need
Oh,
a but
okay.
Y emote, but it'll be a but Y that looks like an Emmy.
Emmy, yeah.
Be like but, and then the Y will be the Emmy.
True.
Amazing.
Yeah, come and join us for what I can see is just probably going to be me trying to break Peter with a hard target on Golden Pond. Yes, that's true. That's right. A Jean-Claude Van Damme movie and on Golden Pond together at the same time. Incredible. And then we're back after that for what is it? Werewolf by Night, and then Black Adam.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, don't get thrilled for that. Okay, fine.
Yeah. Look. I'm sorry. The Black Adam is definitely a film that will be in a cinema.
Present.
Look, we were discussing before the show, the premiere is the night before the actual release, so it's probably going to be shit.
Yeah. There's,
No,
Yeah.
we can't say that. Although I've got to say, I know that we've already done Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power last month. That's
I wish it was a Black Adam movie, Rob. Not Black Adam.
Black
but Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power is continuing to be better than I had expected.
This is true.
Because it's fucking gorier than I've ever expected. And it looks like people actually have sex in it, so that's fun. And Andor. we
Kenga,
haven't done
I
anything.
hope you see how they run.
Yep.
Quinny and I saw it last week, and it was Trey enjoyable.
Trey
Yes,
enjoyable.
yes, indeed.
And actually, we're going off to see a movie tomorrow, aren't we?
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
watch Amsterdam tomorrow.
Which
Amsterdam.
looks also fun and
Yeah,
hopefully
it does.
perky and excitable.
Yeah, it's a drug movie, right? Amsterdam. It's about weed.
Maybe.
We don't know.
Maybe
knows?
we'll get a free joint when we get there. I don't know.
I don't know.
Could
This
make
is
it
one of
fun.
those things we quite often talk about when we go to premieres and stuff. Is the amount of stuff they give you before you sit down to watch the movie is usually the indicator of the quality level. So I'm expecting that Black Adam we may get an entire Hot Toys figure.
No,
but also
Hot toys. Wow, shit.
I know, right?
There's a certain thing when you go like, I mean, hey, it's a fun time, and I can't say anything against any of the companies that throw us a nice party to do stuff.
No,
But there is
No.
a definite correlation between the amount of stuff they throw at you and how good the film is. And sometimes, like, I mean, it doesn't always happen. Sometimes you get amazing stuff. You're like, this movie's gonna suck, and then it's like, oh, actually, that was quite good. Like, okay, case in point.
Bumblebee. They gave us Transformer toys.
Yeah, like case in point, Bumblebee, quite good. I thought Lightyear actually better than I thought, but we also got like
Got a lot of free stuff for Lightyear. That was good.
yeah,
true.
yeah. But
Got a lot of free stuff for Jurassic World Lost Kingdom, and I actually like Lost Kingdom, not Dominion. Lost
Oh
Kingdom.
right, yeah. I was going to say Jurassic World, that was the sequel. One of this second trilogy.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah. There was a lot of free stuff there. I remember getting a lot of free stuff for, I think it was Ragnarok, and that was a fucking awesome movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I saw Ragnarok at a press screening. Anyway,
anyway,
this is
Or
all
it was
fucking.
Guardians too. I can't remember.
And yes, free fresh popcorn does help, but as far as I'm concerned, that is the bare minimum.
Yeah.
a
It's
drink,
usually stale.
a drink and some a drink and some popcorn is a basic standard. It's kind of like that's enough.
I do
Yeah.
want to try and catch Don't Worry Darling at some point. It comes out on Thursday.
I'm fascinated by it. I've seen a few people reviewing it and everything, and there was a lot of talk about it, and now I'm wondering whether the film itself actually lives up to anything like the amount of chatter, or whether it was just all drama.
It's
I
going to be
shall
fun.
see.
We'll see. We'll see what's going on. We've still got think about. I'll try and get in there and remember how to update the post, edit the post to change the choices on the poll. Like
Oh right,
Yeah.
yes.
clear them out and put up a new one, and then because we've still got November. We're having spooky month, and then after that it's November. So think about your choices for November.
I'll see if anybody this month is up for a cheeky Friday night chat about She-Hulk when that finishes as well. So let us
Yeah,
know,
good
chat, if you want to
revisit.
have a She-Hulk
Ooh,
chat.
When
excellent.
does that finish? That's like 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, next Thursday. So not this week, next week.
Nice.
Yeah, right.
So,
Okay.
yeah, maybe we can do a Friday night.
Gonna have to run a lot of Daredevil in there to make it any good. No.
Oh, fuck. I'm sorry. Are you all the men on the internet? Dion?
Yes, I am. Because what it takes for her to feel good is a group therapy session with men. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
one that I
got
was a
a
bit like,
Got a lot of things to
yeah,
talk
yeah.
about with
It's like,
that
hang on
episode.
a second.
Yeah.
This was going so well.
Anyway.
And of course, yes, there is more Andor to be discussed as well.
And or what?
Yep.
I just love that.
Anywho.
Yes, anywho. I just love that everyone who hates Andor is just classless and terrible.
I think Andor is very classy.
Excellent.
I like it.
Mm.
All right. We should get out of here, but should we go raid
Yes.
someone, Quinny? Have you
Yeah,
got someone on
let's
the
see
list of
who's
things?
live at the moment. You know what?
You know what? You've got a choice
Oh.
between Hex or Jordan.
I was going to say.
Ooh, decisions.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
they're
'cause-
both on the
and
same
they're both
team.
on the one team.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Who do we go to? Come on, chat. Tell us who should we raid?
Yeah. Who are you
Um,
going to go raid? My vote is for Jordan because I
Okay,
find
you're-
Jordan is slightly wittier than Hex, but Hex is devious. Steph's devious. Jordan's slightly wittier.
Okay. Right. Well. Okay. I'm still waiting for the chat to say anything.
Yeah, I'm
just go with Jordan.
Okay.
I don't think we've streamed.
Jordan it
Jordan
is.
for
We
a
are going to
while.
go raid
See,
Jordan. Thank you.
Jordan's
so much
not
for joining
going
us.
to pause when you throw the knives down in the knife fight. Where I think Hex would be like, "Oh, should we be doing this?" I think Jordan should just go straight into it.
Right.
Stabbing.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks,
Good night.
everyone. See you on the weekend. Bye.
counting zeros in a cubicle downtown. I wanna look out my window, see him flying, and swing across the horizon as I cheer him on so proud. See, powered girl keeps staring at her face, and call Colossus and have him teach me ways, and then we'd exercise. I'd be one of the guys. When martial arts from Iron Fist and Wall, I'll dance her up and teach her all my songs. Oh, I wanna live in a world full of heroes, not cooking up these heroes at my parents' restaurant now. I wanna yell out Avengers assemble, not order up for Ethel. Yeah, we're right up cheeky now. Say Emma Frost and have her read my mind, or Magdalena, her artifacts I find, and then we catch a symphony with just be her and me. Call Lucky Barn and arm wrestle for hours.